Welcome back everybody. Today's video, the entirety of the second half will most likely be Onward related. Use the chapter slider if you want, but there's a lot to go over with Onward. Multiplayer VR, it's near and dear to my heart. It's about all I play 99% of the time, so I have some thoughts on it. But of course, we first start with a few non-Onward related stories, and that is Microsoft finally is interested in VR. I'm joking, they absolutely still hate it. And this of course is in relation to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, a near photorealistic experience that would fit perfectly in VR. And while the developers have always stated from the start that they are interested in VR support, there's never been any clear indicators for when or how. Now confirmed by Polygon, Microsoft Flight Simulator will have confirmed VR support, but only on one headset, the HP Reverb 2. This does make a little sense, but it also doesn't make a lot of sense more. Does that make sense? Of course, the Reverb G2 is partnered with Microsoft in the Windows mixed reality platform, so in that sense, I get it. That combined with the insane resolution capabilities of the HP Reverb G2, it does set up a monster VR simulator. Flight Simulator will be on Steam VR though, so it's possible it's optimized for the Reverb G2 with support coming down the road for other headsets, but it's a shame if not, as the Reverb G2 is currently not available worldwide fully, and this cuts who could play this down significantly. One day y'all, maybe Microsoft will finally get on board with VR, but that day is not today. In our next story, for the next couple of weeks, avid sports fans may have a different way to watch their favorite sports, namely NBA, and that's because NBA games are coming to Oculus Venues. This is all thanks to a partnership by Verizon Media and Oculus, and it's pretty obvious with the current pandemic going on that these sporting events are in a very weird phase. Some playing but with lighter schedules, and of course no fans in the seats. But the NBA resuming in Orlando will have a new format for fans to enjoy thanks to a company called Ryot, R-Y-O-T, to produce live NBA games in 360-degree video and take the physical games to the virtual screen. In a partnership with Oculus, over a dozen live NBA games will be distributed via Oculus Venues on the Oculus Quest and Oculus Go through August 14th of this year. I greatly miss NextVR. It was very fun watching NBA games on that, and in the current world affairs going on, I would love another way to watch my favorite sporting events, so give this a look if you want. You do have to connect a Facebook account that use Oculus Venues. I have to say that every time. Let's finally get into Onward though. There's just been non-stop talk about this. It's almost exhausting. We need to talk about a quick Eric 1-minute review, the Quest graphic discussion, the PCVR downgrade, bricking headsets. There's a lot going on, but I need to state this now and clarify. This is not black and white. It's a very gray. I don't think anyone has any wrong answers. If you feel the way you do, I believe you, you're right. I'm just gonna share my side on it, my opinions, and how I feel about the situation. But of course, I'm very open to hearing what you have to think. As for the game itself, I'm gonna review this as a straight Oculus Quest game, not comparing it to PCVR, but in reality, it is Onward PCVR, scaled way down to work on the Oculus Quest. And it just does that. It works. It's an engineering marvel that an outdated Snapdragon 835 phone processor is able to do what it is doing here, and I am nothing short of amazed by Downpour Interactive for what they accomplished here. If you are even remotely interested in Onward, it is a must try and buy to me. But let's tackle the first storm of social media comments about how it looks on the Oculus Quest, and to some being looking like the Roblox of Onward, and I did see that a few times. Upload VR did a fantastic comparison on PCVR to the Oculus Quest, and yes, it cannot be understated that there is not only a significant difference between PCVR and the Oculus Quest versions graphically, but it's even more significant than other Oculus Quest ports have been in the past. However, even saying that, it comes with what I mentioned already. It is an outdated, old Snapdragon 835, and the fact it runs like this at all, again, it's a miracle they made it work, and they did a fantastic job. For those who play PCVR, you will notice the difference the most, and it may be hard to play the Quest version. But for those first timers on the Oculus Quest, the content's king, and I see no issues here personally. But we also have to talk about the more serious downgrade for the PCVR players, and this is the topic that no matter how you feel, I fully believe you are right. Everyone's going to feel different about this, but I'm interested to share my thoughts on it. With update 1.8, PCVR players noticed significantly reduced graphics and other issues, which caused the Discord to be an insane pit of absolute madness. This is the most divisive topic I see brought up about this game, and how crossplay may affect PCVR play in the future. While I'll get both sides, it's not black and white, and to me it seems like a reaction not because of the graphics, but the lack of communication. The Quest build had to be launched, and sacrifices to get it launching with crossplay support that was fair and balanced as possible had to be made to the PCVR version. However, none of this was communicated to the PCVR players, and I could only imagine the frustration of supporting Onward for a long time, only to find the experience that you've always played very downgrade. Outrage is completely understandable here. However, putting aside the main issue of communication, the developers have already responded, as we knew they would, that things will be upgraded possibly back over time. It is early access on PCVR. You cannot have early access on the Oculus Quest, and to get the Quest launching with crossplay support, unfortunately PCVR did take a hit. Is that an excuse though? No, it absolutely should have been communicated, but crossplay support that is fair and balanced to me is essential. We need active players in the multiplayer game. I loved Space Junkies, but I had no one to play with, and it killed it for me. And having the crossplay player base is probably the most important aspect to break this VR multiplayer curse. Steam VR user numbers are even increasing. This will be good for Onward in the long term, but short term I completely and 100% understand the outrage. But following Onward for quite a while, the player base has been dwindling. It is a little harder to find matches than it used to be a year ago, and I'm glad to see crossplay support because now I can jump in and have fun. The number one thing that's needed for a VR multiplayer to succeed, being able to play. I think the biggest thing that I think about is how will this affect PCVR titles being developed in the future? If you are going to be making a PCVR multiplayer game, do you keep in mind that maybe we don't go for full resolution, the max we can, because we know we're going to have to bring this to the Oculus Quest to have that player base, because in reality, that is true. They need the Oculus Quest for multiplayer VR games to have a very sustainable player base. If you disagree, look at all the failed PCVR multiplayer games. The only ones that are really still strong are the ones that came out when this all started, basically. But that's just my opinion. And also on a quick note about headsets being bricked, there was a video by Mateo, a very good friend, about his headset getting bricked. I fully believe him that his headset did get bricked. I fully believe it was when he played Onward. I'm not doubting that. But I have heard many headset problems that come from other games. This happens. Tech fails. I don't think Onward is specifically the cause. And I don't think if you're worried, if you wanted to play Onward, don't be worried that your headset's going to be bricked. I do believe he legitimately had a problem, but I don't believe this is going to be widespread enough where you need to worry about that. But that's my opinions all on the Onward situation. I'm going to go back and play it some more. I had a blast, so I'll see you in there. And that's it for today's video, though. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell icon. That way you never miss an upload. See you on the next one, Space Cowboys.
Bang.